welcome to the Narrowing Path, walking the spiritual walk. My name is Steve Van Ashton. Thank you for joining me again today to read June 3rd's reading of James Allen's Daily Meditations. June has opened up strong the first 2 days. I expect it will continue on throughout the whole month. That's just how James Allen's how this book's been structured, how these daily meditations have been structured. Been absolutely fantastic. And so I'm really looking forward to it. So this will be fresh to you and fresh to me. So you'll get my genuine response, reactions, observations, and what I relate to about the reading, of course. Because this will be the first time I hear it and read it right on the right on this podcast with you. So here we go for June 3rd of James Allen's Daily Meditations. Men live in spheres, low or high, according to the nature of their thoughts. Consider the man whose mind is suspicious, covetous, envious. How small and mean and drear everything appears to him. Having no grandeur in himself, he sees no grandeur anywhere. Being ignoble himself, he is incapable of seeing nobility in any being. Selfish as he himself is, he sees in the most exalted acts of unselfishness only motives that are mean and base. Consider again the man whose mind is unsuspecting, generous, magnanimous. How wondrous and beautiful is his world. He sees men as true, and to him they are true. In his presence, the meanest forget their nature, and for the moment become like himself. Getting a glimpse, albeit confused, in that temporary upliftment of a higher order of things, of an immeasurably nobler and happier life. Refrain from harboring thoughts that are dark and hateful, and cherish thoughts that are bright and beautiful. This is just going off of yesterday's, the opening line of yesterday's, man is the maker of happiness and misery, and this is kind of the explanation for it. Men live in spheres, low or high, according to their nature, the nature of their thoughts. What you see in the world, is due to what your mind is looking for, due to the state of your mind, due to what you hold in your heart, really. I'm sure it'll progress to that in some fashion. But really, the perspective that you take and how you interpret the world is based largely on how what you think about and how you think. And an extension of that is what you serve, right? If you serve yourself only, you're only going to look at other people as what they have and you don't, right? If you're serving yourself only, you're going to be suspicious of other people, thinking they're going to try to take what you have, or that they have ulterior motives and are trying to use you, right? And then the other one, even covetous, just like outright desiring what someone else has to take from somebody else. These are qualities we have. I'm going to call them qualities because they're character qualities that are just do not serve us, right? They don't serve us. They harm us in the longest run. And we take our selfish perspective and self-centered perspective and we extend it onto the rest of the world. And suddenly, here we are. Right? Here we are, with no ability to see good or positive or joy in the world. It's always something we will destroy in our own minds. So the opening line, men live in spheres low or high according to the nature of their thoughts. So the world you live in, we live in the exact same world, but depending on what you think about, it looks completely different. It's amazing, isn't it? He goes on, this is the main body of it. Consider the man whose mind is suspicious, covetous, and envious. How small and mean and drear everything appears to him. Right? When you're thinking about negative, you're going to find it, right? I tell people this all the time. You will find what you're looking for. If you're looking for an excuse to, let's say, leave a relationship, you'll find it. If you're looking for a reason to suspect a friend of trying to harm you, you'll find it. You will put together things that aren't meant to be put together, things that shouldn't be put together, that only make sense in your head because you have this perspective. That's what you're looking for. But the reverse is also true. If you think people want to genuinely help you, you will see how people will genuinely help you. You will find the people that genuinely help you. You will see that type of a world, and you'll put the fact that there are people that will take advantage of you below that. That will be a secondary thought. That'll be a secondary understanding, but not what you think about. Which is an incredible way to go through life, right? It's better than that mean and drear and small type of thinking. Having no grandeur in himself, he sees no grandeur anywhere. Being ignoble himself, so having no nobility, no moral compass or self-respect, he is incapable of seeing nobility in any being. Selfish as he himself is, he sees in the most exalted acts of unselfishness only motives that are mean and base. We cannot recognize anything positive. We just can't. We don't understand it, or we don't believe it to be true because it's not showing up in our lives the way we want it to show up in our lives. So how could this honestly be true? Or I couldn't even comprehend doing, how to say it? I couldn't even comprehend genuinely being altruistic, genuinely being giving of oneself. It wasn't possible for a guy like me. It made no sense. Because that's the type of mind I had. That's the types of things I thought about. My perspective, or the things I thought about, forced a perspective that everyone was out for themselves. And that's because I was only ever out for me. I was a selfish and self-centered person to my core. And that blows my mind. Really, it blows my mind. Now, the second paragraph of the reading. Consider again the man whose mind is unsuspecting, generous, magnanimous. So the complete opposite of before. A different realm. This is the higher sphere of thinking, or of living. Men live in spheres low or high according to their nature of their thoughts. This is the sphere of higher living. Consider again a man whose mind is unsuspecting, generous, and magnanimous. So other-centered, other-serving, righteous-serving, truth-serving, God-serving life. How wondrous and beautiful is his world. I love how he says that. How wondrous and beautiful is his world. And it's the same world the negative thinker can be in, and how terrible is his, right? Like, the matter of what your thoughts can change your perspective so much. So much. It's an amazing thing, actually. So, he sees men as true and to him they are true. This isn't always true. I won't say people haven't tried to take advantage of it, and some people have even taken advantage of it from me. But I find the risk of that worthwhile. That when you treat someone the best way possible, with very loving, kind, compassionate perspective, honest, and truth, full perspective, you'll be surprised how people will treat you back. People bring their best out to those who treat them the best. And I'm not talking about giving them money. I'm not talking about some material thing. But treating them with respect and dignity as a human being can change someone's life, I believe. It's amazing to me. Absolutely amazing to me. I loved it. And it just makes me grateful to have found this way of living. Because how wonderful is it to be able to treat people with kindness, and they take the opportunity to practice it themselves. Amazing. In his presence, the meanest forget their nature. It's amazing to me. It's happened. I've experienced this. Some of the meanest people that I've known, since I've changed my behavior, it's changed theirs. What an amazing, amazing thing that is. And for the moment become like himself. Getting a glimpse, albeit confused, in that temporary upliftment of higher order of things, of an immeasurably nobler and happier life. And that's what I was talking about. The power in living this way of life, and the power in living a spiritual life, is immense. To put it in a word, is immense. You don't sometimes I forget it, how powerful it is, actually. You can, and how to say this? You can give people the opportunity to be inspired to strive for a better way of living. Just by doing these right things, just by living a spiritual way of life, you can give people inspiration to live the same and find a whole new way of living, to find a whole new world sitting right in their same kitchen chairs. It's amazing to me. It's a gift that I didn't know was possible to measure. Or, excuse me, not measure, a gift that was possible to give, more so. That's immeasurable, right? I think he actually says immeasurable here. Of an immeasurably nobler and happier life. Like this, there's a connection that'll happen when you treat people like this sometimes, well, a lot of times. And they'd find themselves being honest about things they never meant to be honest about, never thought they'd never tell another person, to connect with somebody over things they never thought they'd connect with somebody over. What an amazing, amazing life that is. I think it's absolutely incredible that we can practice a way of living that might give someone else that opportunity to begin to practice a different way of living as well. So, and he goes ahead and closes with this: refrain from harboring thoughts that are dark and hateful, and cherish thoughts that are bright and beautiful. Choose what you think about. And the more you choose the bright and cheerful, the loving, the righteous, the Christ-like, the more your brain will think about those things. And you'll change your entire world in a moment. It's incredibly, incredibly powerful. So, that's the end of the reading for today. Thank you all for joining me for another day's worth of daily meditation. It's something to think about. It's something to think about what we think about. I like it. So, but again, thank you all for joining me. I'm looking forward till tomorrow's and seeing what the rest of June brings us. So, until next time, thanks.